wife said, I hear the garbage truck. Did you take out the garbage? She gonna kill me, I forgot. I gotta be honest, now I'm running outside with the garbage in my arms. Open the door, but I forgot to cut off the alarm. The queen mad at me, I'm disgraced. She said those raccoons gonna have that garbage all over the place. We had a bad morning, but the love remained strong. Black love forever, I would never move on.
It was endless conversations. Like, we would be talking inside the vehicle, and at nighttime, the next thing you know, the sun was coming up. It was definitely a friendship. Maybe like around 3 months, things started to escalate, and I got more lucky.
Can you describe?
I mean, things became physical. We became more intimate. We started to hug, kiss, things of that nature. And then we would leave each other, talk all the way home on the phone, get home, pull up in the driveway, and fall asleep on the phone. Like, it was ridiculous. We were inseparable.
It was ridiculous.
We were really inseparable.
So I feel like everybody thought that this situation with Pap and Remy, when it first popped off, as far as the breakup was concerned, that it was just literally a breakup story. But for me, this is how his image as a perfect husband was quietly protected for years by Remy. While serial cheating, alleged DV, and financial irresponsibility stayed off the camera. And we just put our pom-poms up and yelled Black love. And now that the receipts are out, we're not just reacting, we're about to re-examine the narrative. Welcome back to The Vibers, the Blue Heart Gang, Gang, Gang. And if you're just getting here for the first time, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, click those notification bells so that you can know every time I go live or when I do another upload. Because now we are in a relationship, and yeah, we got to get into this movie. All right, so let's get locked in. This isn't going to be super loud, but it is going to be layered. Okay, we're going to unpack what was said, what was covered, what changed, and why this didn't come out until now. Let's just kind of think less about the internet screaming and more family conversation with a little bit of logic involved. So a lot of us were introduced to Remy Ma and Pap through what was essentially the whole Black love branding. Remy was positioned as the sexy, confident, urban fashionista straight out the streets, terror squad, East Coast swag, dope AF without even trying. She carried that I'm dangerous and desirable type energy so effortlessly. You know what I mean? That weird ass energy that Claressa has that she's trying to freaking duplicate. That's Remy's energy that she's mimicking. And failing at it too. Papoose, he was literally framed as the underground rapper with one of the most intellectual mind-twisting pens in the street. A quiet confidence, lyricism, discipline, they kind of framed him as a thinker. So on paper, it was a perfect pairing. Because if you're Remy with a rising profile, the street credibility, and the star power, you don't just need a man next to you. You need someone secure enough to let you shine, confident enough not to compete, but masculine enough to hold his own. He wasn't marketed as a threat to her spotlight. He was marketed as the perfect complement. The man who could stand beside a powerful woman without shrinking or controlling her. That was the image, and that image that he had, it really mattered. Now, here's a part that a lot of people either forgot or were too young to witness in real time. The framework of Papoose as the perfect husband didn't start after the marriage. It started before, while Remy Ma was literally incarcerated. But baby, let's backtrack for a second so that everybody's clear on how this all unfolded. In July of 2007, Remy was involved in an argument with her friend Makita Barnes Joseph. This argument took place right outside of a Manhattan nightclub, and it was over money. That argument escalated and shots were literally fired. Makita was injured. Remy ultimately faced a lot of serious charges, including assault and illegal weapons possession, and she had to sit with those consequences for that moment. Remy was ultimately sentenced to 8 years in prison, but due to good behavior, strong community support, and public advocacy from figures like 50 Cent, she served roughly 6 years and was released early on good behavior. And while Remy was locked up, that's when the narrative was quietly being written.
So, first of all, hi, Pat.
How are you?
Good, man. I can't believe that this is the first time that you've been here since you've been home.
I know, it's crazy. The last time, I was here, I ended up not coming home the day I was supposed to come home.
That's so crazy to me.
Crazy, right?
I haven't seen you in all these years, which is so crazy because from the outside, it kind of goes fast.
Mm-hmm.
From the inside, I would imagine.
It kind of goes not so fast.
Not so fast. But you seem so well adjusted and back out. And I mean, I don't see you every day, but you seem like you're
You know what? I Pap did a great job of trying to keep me into the loop with things.
Thank you. That's a nice thing to say.
No.
It's the truth, though.
You want us to leave you alone? You want us to give you a moment?
Literally, like, current events, like, he would print out memes and bring them to me, like, so I could see what was going on.
Because wait, when you went inside, social media wasn't even like.
I didn't have any access to any type of social media at all. Like, before I left, Twitter didn't exist, Instagram didn't exist. Just imagine, like, if the last phone that you had was like a sidekick. Like,
Wow.
And now here you are.
and I'm sitting here like this with my
iPhone 6.
Trying.
And wait, how long you been home now?
17 months.
You still counted in months. It's like a baby. It's maybe 17 months old. So 17 months, and do you feel like okay and adjusted, or is there still like remnants of like?
I mean, like my sleeping schedule is still crazy. Like for 6.5 years, I was waking up like every hour because they do their rounds and they're flashing flashlights in your face and they're making sure that you're alive and stuff like that. So I literally have like borderline insomnia. I wake up throughout the night constantly. It's crazy.
Wow.
So like I just want to sleep, but I can't.
What I'm thinking about too when you came home, and then I heard that you guys were doing this show. Just how crazy it is to go, because you guys didn't live together when you went away, right?
No, he wasn't in yet. He had a little area.
So now you get out of jail and you're like married,
and
Yeah, nobody don't really look at you. Like one of the first people to realize that.
It's so
crazy.
It's just like a
because I'm
challenge.
used to living by myself. Me and my son, and we're in this big house by ourselves, and we kind of have our own thing. And then we have this grown guy that comes in with all of his Brooklyn.
and he's
stuff.
not just a guy; he's your husband, by the way.
Right.
Like, how do you? Because you were dating, and she got this bid, right? How did you know still that? How did you even get to a point where you want to get married and she's in jail?
Well, actually, we was banking on her beating the trial,
Oh.
so we had the wedding planned before she actually went to prison.
Right.
But we actually lost all our money that we put into that wedding because she blew trial. We couldn't have the wedding.
Yeah.
So I was like, yo, I can't back out now since she's going to jail. I had to step
You
up to the
could
plate.
have.
Yeah, I could have. I could have took the easy way out and been like, I don't think this is going to work. You're going to be away. But I was like, nah, I can't.
This is the part where you
Because she didn't deserve it.
I am.
She didn't. Honestly,
why you stayed.
it was like, I can't explain it. I can't really explain it. But honestly, I feel like she really didn't deserve to go to prison. Like, I feel so bad for her. It was like traumatizing because I was telling her, you're going to beat it. It's going to be all right. She was like, no, I'm going to blow.
So you really didn't think it was gonna
I
happen?
didn't think it was going to happen.
Right.
And then when it happened, I was like, I felt bad, man.
And you just wanted to be there.
I just wanted to make sure I was there for her. I knew she really needed me.
Wow.
The story that we were told was that Papoose held Remy down. Baby, not casually, very religiously. It was said he visited her every single day until Remy Ma herself convinced him that a few visits a week would be enough. That detail right there, it matters a lot. We never really heard any cheating rumors during that time, and at least none that stuck, even though there was a rumor about a baby that seemed to have come back unfounded, but we'll revisit that topic a little bit later. But knowing how incarcerated women rarely receive the same loyalty, patience, or public support that incarcerated men do, the sacrifices he was said to be making felt almost unreal. So by the time Remy came home, the narrative was already locked in. They went on media tours, interviews, sit-downs. Every single time, his loyalty was literally the headline. Remy was framed as the lucky one, but Papoose, he became a hero, an almost iconic symbol of love, devotion, and what a good man is supposed to look like when a woman falls. So when everything later exploded with Remy, Pap, Claressa, and Easy the Block Captain, the public reaction wasn't curiosity, baby. It was straight confusion. Because from the outside, it looked like Remy had discarded a love that was so unshakable. Like she had literally misused something rare and walked away from a loyalty that most people will never, ever get to experience. Or at least, that's what we were led to believe. But branding only works when nobody audits it. And once the receipts started surfacing, the story we all believe, baby, it started to crack.
Sis never tells me our personal relationship business. But what I know is I left y'all last night. We went to Brooklyn Chop House. She treated 10 grown men to dinner. And I woke up in the morning and then my phone was going crazy. And they was like, yo, look what's going on. I'm like, what the?
How do you manage that between your bro and your sis?
I don't even know how to manage that. Well, yeah, this is a hard situation because of him, she made me love him. You know what I'm saying? So I really love him. You know what I'm saying? That's my goddaughter's father. It's a whole bunch of, I'm like I try to tell you, I'm old school morals. You know what I'm saying? So like with me, it's like, damn, like I'm the godfather. These people pass away, I raised the baby. I don't like none of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't like none of that. What I can't do is stop it or have that. Like they won't listen to me.
Right. You have a history of mediating a lot of beefs.
A lot of
people.
I might have mediated beef for a long time. Now that is gone.
I'm saying, like,
off the rocker.
We know you for not getting in the middle, but being in the middle and being, all right, y'all stop.
You know, it's a different type of thing when you got a husband. First of all, for the first time she ever asked me for advice, I said, listen, it's different. You have this your husband. Nobody come to my house tell my wife. You know what I'm saying? This your husband. I can't get in the middle of that. That's y'all. You know what I'm saying?
And there's kids involved.
It's the best kid in the world. My goddaughter is the most beautiful kid in the world. She's so, I wish this didn't happen.
That's Remy twin right there, for real.
Yeah, she's just a beautiful kid, very smart.
Now, if you were listening closely to that clip, and this is one of those moments where word choice matters, you'll hear Fat Joe say that all he knows is that he left y'all, in quotes, the night before. Not him, not just Papoose, y'all, meaning Papoose and Remy Ma were together out as a couple right before everything hit the fan. Listen, that detail is key and it absolutely matters because it tells us that immediately before the fallout, Papoose was still actively showing up as a husband. And once you understand that, a lot of what Remy said in the aftermath stops sounding impulsive and starts sounding reactive. And listen, Fat Joe in that circle, those aren't just industry acquaintances. Those are professional, intellectual, and generational peers. These are the people that Papoose has built real bonds with. He shared history, values, and context with. What Claressa Shields has going on doesn't compete with that ecosystem, not culturally, not socially, not generationally. When someone enters a dynamic where the foundation is decades deep, honey, but the connection is new, isolated, and reactive, things usually don't stabilize. They just unravel, which is why, from a purely analytical standpoint, this situation between Claressa and Pap was never positioned for longevity. That's why when the obvious fallout happens, it is not going to be surprising at all. And once you zoom out and look at the timing, the circles involved, and who was actually present, the story stops being messy and starts being logical. So the public unraveling really began with the rumors that Papoose allegedly knocked out Easy the Black Captain over an affair with Remy Ma. So the public unraveling began when the rumors that Papoose allegedly knocked out Easy the Black Captain over an affair with Remy Ma. Whether proven or not, that story took off, and once it did, social media locked in on one version of events. Remy was relentlessly trolled. The framing of it all was brutal. What people saw was an extreme betrayal. Even me, I was like, I know she didn't. We saw her as someone that was cheating with a younger artist, humiliating a man who had been publicly loyal forever. And for a while, that one-sided narrative actually stuck. But eventually, Remy got tired of carrying the weight of a story that left out way too much. But here's where the analysis has to stay honest. Remy does have to take responsibility for how well she covered for Papoose. She protected that image so thoroughly and so consistently that when the narrative flipped, the public couldn't see her as anything other than a villain. Because we have to remember, she helped lay the framework for Pap being perceived as the perfect man. And she didn't do it accidentally. She didn't do it passively. She actively did this. And when you participate in building a brand that powerful, you don't get to be surprised when the audience resists any version of the truth that contradicts what you built. That doesn't make Remy wrong, but it does explain why the backlash landed the way it did. So baby, when we all woke up to the drama and the messages that Remy Ma decided to share, it was messy, it was juicy, and it was immediately shifting the temperature in the room. Because what we saw wasn't just an affair, it was layers. On one hand, we saw a message of Claressa Shields in Remy's inbox asking for fashion tips, how to style her hair, how to enhance her body, how to show up better as a woman. Baby, that alone was jarring. But then we saw the other messages of Claressa begging Papoose for validation, asking for flowers, asking for phone calls, asking to feel chosen. And that juxtaposition, baby, that's when everything clicked. Because once you remember that Papoose had been out with Remy the day before everything exploded, rewind back. Fat Joe told it all, but everybody seemed to miss it. That timeline, it's starting to explain the behavior, the insecurity, the overreaching, the desperation to be seen. Up until this point, the public was still trying to emotionally recover from the idea that Remy had just ruined Black love. That was the headline that people were stuck on. But nobody was prepared for Claressa to effectively jump into the group chat and start taking shots at her boyfriend's wife. And we definitely weren't prepared for Easy the Block Captain to start talking spicy, especially with rumors already circulating that Papoose had knocked his ass out. At that point, the story stopped being a scandal and started looking like a full-blown collision of ego, insecurity, and unfinished business.
My name Anthony. And actually, y'all got the audacity. I got the baddest joint in battle rap. I thought y'all be giving props to me.
Talk about it.
B, I'm a battle rapper. I've been the best. I'm probably bored. But y'all been bamboozled not to rock with me. C, I mean, it's cool, though. But y'all constantly on my dick. And it's starting to be a lot for me. D, I'm different. Keep your distance. They gotta be delusional if y'all think I got rocked to sleep. I mean, all that alphabetical slaughter shit, but what happens when she stopped at E? I'm only going... Let's do it! Let's do it! I'm only gonna address this shit one time. Since y'all wanna be on the front lines. Hey, yo, Remy, don't you love me? Yeah. See, right there, that's the punchline.
Now, let's keep it a buck. Claressa Shields has managed to turn this into the messiest relationship train wreck we've seen since Krishan Rock and Blueface. And that's saying a lot. Instead of piling it on, let's slow this down for a second, because when things get this chaotic and this public, it's usually not about love. It's about some sort of unregulated emotion. And Lord knows Claressa has a lot of those. What I want to do now is a little virtual back and forth, not arguing, not dragging, just walking through the psychology step by step. We're going to look at validation, seeking behavior versus belonging, power versus proximity, ego versus security. And then once we've stripped away all the noise, we'll tie this whole situation together in a neat little psychoanalytical teacup. Still hot, still messy, but finally understandable.
That's another thing I don't like. Oh, she was held down while she was in jail. I was who I was when I went to prison. My royalty check still came in. I gave power of attorney so that they could write checks and go on my account and do this. I was buying Christmas gifts, not just for my son, for 3 other children that I was still getting to know. Yes, I was. Paying rent in a house that I paid rent in at least 3 different apartments that I never seen a day in my life. And you know what I came home to? I have shit. I have $1 when I came home. I loved though, and I was okay with that. Raised Jace. When did somebody raise my son? What? My son lived with his father for a year or 2 while I was away, and with my mother, who the entire time I was sending the money from jail, sending boxes of sneakers, boxes of underclothes. Like, stop! Don't ever play with me, y'all.
And then Remy finally said the part that made everything look a lot less shiny. She revealed that she was the provider during the marriage, even when she was locked up. And once you hear that, the whole picture changes. Knowing that the lifestyle, the stability, and the public image were funded on her dime while she was locked up makes the loyalty narrative hit way differently. It doesn't sparkle the same, and it does not feel as romantic. It kind of reframes things. A woman is carrying the financial weight, and protecting the public image, what looks like devotion can sometimes be dependence. What looks like a sacrifice can sometimes just be a strategy. And that's why the timing matters. Because once Remy put Papoose out and put the truth on blast, we watched him conveniently cozy up to Claressa Shields and her bag. That doesn't automatically mean intent, but it does introduce a pattern recognition. And when the financial security disappears in one place and reappears in another, it's actually fair to ask whether the connection is emotional or opportunistic. And suddenly, the story stops being about heartbreak and starts being about power, access, and survival.
Everybody know I was on top of the world. The $1.5 million man. Hottest rapper on the planet. Y'all seen it. Her situation took place. Like I said, I left my tour, came back, bailed her out. When I bailed her out, nothing but expense after expense after expense. I had to pay to pack her crib up, pay to put everything in storage, pay the storage bill every month, get a condo closer to the jail so I could visit her every day. Visiting her every day, driving back and forth to the visit to see her every day. Everybody in my ear, Pap, you gotta get to work. You can't visit her every day. My deal folded. I exhausted all my funds. I had to get back to work. That's why I only visited her every day for a year straight. But after that, I had the space to visit out to like 3 times a week. Never missed a Christmas, never missed a Mother's Day, never missed a single holiday. I was there. Took care of the kids, took care of my stepson, took care of you, fed you, did everything for a year straight without working. It came a time where if our son needed certain things, if she had something in her account or whatever, she had to take care of it. If she could, she did. But for the most part, I did. Every single
Now, let's
thing.
talk about something that rarely gets unpacked properly, and that's the money trail. Papoose has openly stated that in 2006, he signed a deal with Jive Records that was worth around $1.5 million. Baby, for 20 years, Pap has been walking around saying that he is the $1.5 million man. Really think about that. How silly does he sound bragging about a $1.5 million deal from 20 years ago? This is all public record. This is not something that he's ducked. He said this out of his own mouth multiple times. According to Papoose, he took the money and walked away from the label without ever fulfilling the contract, allegedly because he didn't think he was ever going to make any more money over that amount anyway. But that detail still matters because in the music industry, walking away from a deal after taking the advance isn't really a power move. It's kind of a signal. And a lot of people believe he never intended to complete that deal in the first damn place, that the paper, not the partnership, was the goal. At the very least, that establishes a pattern of opportunism, not ambition, not a strategy, opportunism. And once you put that behavior next to what Remy later revealed about being the primary provider, the story starts to rhyme, which brings me to the part that feels off. It's tacky to publicly brag about doing for her kids and holding her down financially when you were power of attorney over her money, because that's not generosity, that is access, nigga. When you're managing someone else's finances, spending from that pool doesn't make you a savior. It makes you a steward. And turning stewardship into self-praise is a red flag, not a flex muffin. Again, this is not about demonizing anyone. It's about behavioral consistency. The industry deal, the marriage finances, the timing of his new attachments, different chapters, same theme.
I'm such a real one. I know the procedure when somebody goes to prison. I know the procedure. So it was never about infidelity. When I came home, I went straight through that phone immediately. I know what was up. When I had to fight baby mothers at mother-in-law's houses on Thanksgiving, I knew that girl wasn't lying about what she was saying was going on while I was saying. I knew she wasn't lying. I just was mad. I knew she wasn't lying, though. If we keeping it a bean, I knew she wasn't lying. You refuse to tell people, hey, me and Rem haven't even slept in the same bed since May 2022. You don't want to tell nobody that. You were so wrapped up in the whole black love thing. That was your thing. That was the only thing you had. And I realized that. And I respected that. You know what? I don't need to be out here telling people you ain't this and you ain't got this and you ain't doing this and you ain't that. Whoever get you, they'll see.
First time I caught her cheating. I've caught her cheating numerous times since she been home. I tolerated your foolishness and your cheating and your adultery for years and years and years for the sake of my child. Everything will be fine and you will still violate. Because you know why? You can't keep your legs closed, Rem. That's one of the main problems with you. But it wasn't good enough for you to move on and be an adult after you cheated. And I gave you numerous opportunities to stop the cheating. We went to a therapist. Why come on here and lie and say we haven't slept together since 2022? Why come on here and make it seem like that's true? We never had an agreement. Oh, you be with who you be with and I be with. We never had an agreement. All we had was you lying, saying that you're not with him. Why would you deal with him? That's all we had. And when I found out the truth that you were with him, you said, let's go to therapy. And I agreed. Then we made an agreement with the therapist. You violated the agreement again. So when I caught him, I knocked him out. Wherever I would have saw him at, I would have knocked him out.
To keep this honest and grown, both of them have acknowledged that they were cheating. And according to both sides, there were multiple people involved. So this isn't about pretending one person was pure and the other was evil. This is about circumstances and reasonability. Because real talk, I would be pretty upset too if I came home to a man who had spent all my money, was cheating with exes and other women, on top of the fact that we still had monthly conjugal visits. That detail keeps getting skipped. We're not talking about a sexless marriage. We're not talking about total separation. There was still access. There was still intimacy, still opportunity to choose differently. Which brings us to the most important question that nobody seems to be asking Claressa Shields. If a man couldn't be faithful to his wife with monthly conjugal visits, shared finances, shared history, and public commitment, why would you believe that he can suddenly be faithful to you during a 6-week sexual sabbatical for your career? As a boyfriend? Baby, that's not hate. It's just math. And when the math don't math, the fantasy usually collapses under the pressure, which is why this situation doesn't read as romance. It reads as projection, hope, and denial colliding with reality, baby.
We celebrate our birthdays together, me, her, and the baby. So this particular year, she says, I want to have an all-girls party. The friend who's incarcerated comes to the crib. She attends the all-girls party, all the friends, cool. Every night when it's time to go to bed, she's telling me, I'm gonna go sleep in the guest room with such and such. I sleep in the room by myself. Next day, same thing. And at this time, I'm trying to be intimate with her. When it's time to go down, she slipped out of it. She go back to sleep in the room with homegirl. I said, something is fishy here. I see a whole plate, peanuts, cashew, all these type of raisins all laid out. On another day, I caught her with this individual in our house while my daughter was on the bed with them. I'm not saying this because it's a bad thing, but I'm saying this because she has done a lot of bashing towards people who live that lifestyle and talk so bad about them and say so many foul things about them that it hurted her so bad that I knew the truth.
Now listen, when Papoose said that Remy was sleeping with an old prison mate, yeah, it sounded too fucked up, especially when you remember that they were still having conjugal visits. But let's slow down and ask the real question. Why say that at all? Because at that point, they were 1 for 1. He was with Claressa Shields. She was with Easy the Black Captain. So the score was even. So what was the purpose of airing out additional laundry? The answer is deflection, baby. When someone is losing control of the narrative, they don't argue the facts. They shift disgust. They introduce information designed to make the other person look way worse, even when it doesn't change the math. Because the truth is, this situation was not threatening to him emotionally. It was threatening to his identity. Just like Remy Ma said, Black love wasn't just something he represented. It was his brand, his reputation. It was his moral high ground, his cultural positioning. And once that affair became public, the mask didn't just slip, it had to come off. So airing out more details wasn't about accountability, baby. It was about survival. Because when your brand is loyalty and loyalty is no longer believable, the only move left is to change the audience's emotional focus. But we're not changing it to truth, right? He had to change it to discomfort, honey. He had to make people very uncomfortable with the actions and behaviors of Remy so that he could still have his Black love moniker rebranded. in a way that would come through and save face for him and his reputation. The last thing Papoose needs is for people to think that he's full of shit. And baby, I am the last person to ever think that I would look at this man like he was nothing but her knight in shining armor. Boy, was I wrong.
How do y'all think y'all know what people, what do you tell somebody being broke to y'all? Because I see a lot of this like upgrade, downgrade, so-and-so's broke, this one's broke. Like, what are y'all talking about? Like, y'all don't know what people have. Actually, my ex might be the least income making person that I've ever been with. Ever. Everybody included.
It's my house because I paid for it. All 1.3 million, whatever it was, I paid in cash with my name on it only. I take care of the kid. I take care of it. So I stay here. You go.
Every bill in that household, I did nothing but buy you gifts. It's photos and everything of it. It's all on my page. Never trust a celebrity who erased their Instagram. They hiding from something. It's still there. Me buying her gifts. All that materialistic. If you notice, her entire thing was about materialism. Just fabricating. She just recently told me she don't got no money. So what you talking this money talk? You walk around with thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of jewelry that I bought every single day. You talking this jewelry talk. First and foremost, I have a cash business. So there's numerous times where I cashed you out and you went and bought things. With my money. With my money. You want to talk about property? We bought this house together. We bought it together. 90% of the music since I've been with her. And if you come around me and you type a keyword from any one of her verses, it pops up in my phone with the date that I wrote it. I wrote one of your biggest records, man. One of your biggest hits. So you want to downplay me as an artist when I wrote one of your biggest hits. That's so sad. Look at the comments. They know what I wrote. I wrote tons of her music. 90% of her music, I wrote it since I've been around her. I wrote probably like 3 songs on her first album. If I listen to it, I'll tell you exactly what I wrote. And when you listen to it, y'all know my pen. I never wanted a penny. I never wanted one dime. All of the music I wrote for her, I never wanted one penny. I never put my name on the credit. I never did anything. When people said, we know Pat writing that. Oh, you want to go in here and say, oh, I was making music before him. You was. That's why when I started writing it, they saw the difference.
Same man for almost 20 years. Can't nobody tell me I'm for the shit and make me feel some type of way? Are you crazy? Can't nobody tell me, oh, you fumbled it. It's so funny watching people like, you had a good husband. He's only had one wife. The only person that can tell y'all if he's a good husband or not. And when he was, I told y'all that. I told y'all. When shit was cool, when shit was like, when it was what I thought it was, I just kept it a being. When it's not, when it wasn't, I ain't say nothing. He cares about what y'all think. I don't care about what y'all think. Like, not, unfortunately, not trying to be funny. I appreciate my fans and people that are actually my fans and that love me. You understand? But I don't care what people think. People will cry if they knew the truth. Like, literally cry. Like, cry. Cry. I'm so much happier now. Girl, man, don't nobody fall in love faster than somebody with nowhere to stay. I literally told him, every time your current come up, says my name or does something that I feel is trying to attack me in any type of way, I'ma drag you. Now everybody think I'm crazy. No, I'm not crazy. You're a user. And you over there playing with that.
She tried to make it about Claressa. I just met Claressa in July last year. I've been dealing with this with you since 2022. Claressa has nothing to do with this. She's very angry because Claressa is shining like the diamond she is. World-class champion, Olympic winner. She has nothing to do with this. So angry because I finally moved on. She see us living our life. She talking about doing something for the gram or doing it for this and that. I'm living my life. As far as the divorce, like I said, she never wanted to get the divorce. I'm sorry, she never wanted a divorce, that's correct. And she didn't want to do it peacefully. Yesterday, she started asking me, are you done with me? Are you done with me? I said, is that even a question? I'm going forward with the divorce, yes. I wanted to get a civilized divorce where we don't have to do none of this clown shit. She never wanted to do that.
Great. I'm trying to understand, what's the holdup? I don't want nothing. I don't want nothing. I'm not asking for child support, spousal support. I don't want no cars. I don't want no crib. I don't want nothing. Could you please ask him? Because he keeps saying he doesn't have any clothes, but he doesn't really have to come over here and get them. I literally have. I'm so great. I'm so nice. Look how nice I had this bagged up. I bought these bags off of Amazon. These are good bags, and I packed it so nicely. Hats in one, sneakers in one, jackets in one. I did everything. So it's waiting here. I cleared out this whole area. Everything. Look, this has been here since last year. I'm not stuck. Nobody, there's no hold up. Any hold up is on that side.
He's really a fuck up and he loses his jaw, and she really a good jaw, and you really lose it, and the next nigga got it, and you don't feel like the next nigga should hang your jaw. Then niggas start acting. I'm happy for the nigga. Nigga, move on. I've been waiting. Like, yo, get the fuck out the crib. Like, go ahead, bro. I've been waiting. I'm happy. I was like, ooh, got him.
Scroll back to when you was in Africa and people was wishing they got their shots. Should I scroll back to then? Let me scroll back to then. Play with me. Play with me. Play with me. And there was no shots to go to Africa. It was pills. How do I know? Because the text came to my phone because he's still on my health insurance. He just didn't want you to go. That's all. So he could sit over there and call me every day about how being here just makes me think about everything. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Not yesterday. I was laid up yesterday. Was I not laid up? Were we not laid up? Oh. What? Ew. I don't even like the cologne you wear. It's gross. Ew. Come on. And you got me blocked. Emotional. Weirdo. Really see and try to, oh, you a girl. You a girl. Look at him. Emotional. Stop playing with me, sir. Stop playing with me. Matter of fact, let me get the Africa post on cock. Hold up. And the only reason why, if anybody's wondering why is he still on my health insurance, because it's against the law in New Jersey while you're going through a divorce to take them off of your health insurance. So unfortunately, I can't. Let me get those ready. Send me Shorty number. I send it directly to her. I send you the whole video thing that I literally entertained just because I knew this day was gonna come. Weirdo. Hold on. We in Africa, right? I ain't go to Sierra Leone. Hold up. Call me later. You call me back, call me later. I'm busy. Hold on, sending me videos. Yo, right now it's 1 minute. I can't make this up if I wanted to. Why do I care what degrees is out there? Small talk. Videos of everything that's going on. Yo, how do they balance that? I'm not gonna lie, the molar carts is fire. It's only 92 degrees. I'm assuming it's supposed to rain. This and that's not. You already know when they give the temperature. Everything was fine. Look at me, you dressing like Brooklyn over there. You better get some kente cloth. I hate traveling with a bunch of stuff. Stop it. You have clothes. Look, I hate traveling with a bunch of stuff and I don't have any clothes anymore. I wear the same things all the time. Stop it. You have clothes. You just don't want to come get them. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
No, Remy has been quietly just doing her thing and growing her little network. She fought back a lot. Like when Papoose posted this picture saying that this was her and Easy on Christmas and how she left the baby alone, she quickly clapped back with a timestamp video that showed that not only was she at home with the baby on Christmas, but that Pap was actually there too. I mean, I don't think that she would go through great lengths like this to prove that she was telling the truth. airing out all of this mess unless she was, just basically trying to make it plain. And unfortunately, I think that Claressa's ego is so big that she's not going to take any of these warning signs as reason to step back and look at what this man has actually done in his life to his wife, as opposed to what he says and what she thinks and what she believes. Claressa is very young, very naive, and just not really all together there. She obviously does not have the right kind of people around her that are going to make her isolate this situation and view it from the lens that she should. It's really actually pretty sad. And baby, let's not forget, Remy Ma didn't stop at one revelation. She went on to expose another relationship that Papoose was involved in while still living in her home and while actively dating Claressa Shields, the so-called Cali girl. What makes that detail especially interesting is that the same woman was reported present on the Africa trip, the very trip that Remy had already been explaining to Claressa in real time. That's a big deal because once again, the timeline confirms that this was not confusion. It was simply overlap. And I'll note this gently, but clearly, this is yet another feminine, well put together woman who visually and energetically sits on the opposite end of the spectrum from Claressa. And that's not an insult, it's a pattern observation. Is Claressa even his type for real? But here's the bottom line. Remy spent years covering for Papoose, protecting his image, buffering his reputation, and allowing him to be framed as something that he was not. And now she has exposed him as what the behavior actually supports, which is opportunistic, serially unfaithful, manipulative, and image conscious above all else. As for Claressa, the situation doesn't read as love. It reads as ego overriding discernment. She's ignoring every warning and leaping headfirst into a dynamic with a man who is legally married, still entangled in multiple relationships, and still attempting to revive a stalled career. A man with children close to her age. And the most telling part, she's still auditioning for the wife role while he's clearly running circles around her. From a psychological and behavioral standpoint, this is not sustainable. I don't give this relationship another full year. Not because I'm hating and not because of a bias, but because patterns don't lie, but people do. Okay? So, and with that, this wasn't a love story. It was a branding exercise collapsed under pressure. So stay observant because patterns tell the truth before people ever will. When you strip away the branding, the romance, and the internet noise, what's left isn't confusion, it's clarity. This was never about cheating. It was about identity, power, access, and narrative control. Remy didn't suddenly become loud. She became uncovered. The protection stopped. The mask slipped, and the truth no longer fit the image that had been carefully curated for years. And once Black love stopped working as a shield, everything underneath it was exposed. As for Claressa, this isn't a story about strength or winning. It's a cautionary tale about what happens when ego overrides discernment and validation feels more important than pattern recognition. Because love doesn't require auditions, loyalty doesn't require competition, and healthy relationships don't survive on overlap, secrecy, and denial. This wasn't a love story. It was a branding exercise. It collapsed. And patterns always tell the truth. Always. And just to be clear, this commentary is based on public statements, shared messages, interviews, and timelines interpreted from an analytical and psychological perspective. No one here is being diagnosed, accused, or convicted of anything. This is opinion commentary and contextual analysis, nothing more, nothing less. And as always, if new information comes out, the analysis can always change, baby. That's how logic works. Listen, if you ever watched a relationship fall apart and realized the signs were there the whole damn time, you already understand this conversation, Muffin. Let me know what stood out to you, but keep it respectful. We all grown over here. And if you like my commentary, please click like, comment, and subscribe. And if you don't like it, you can still comment, you can still subscribe, because you're bound to return and find something that will entertain you or be of intellectual benefit. If you love this video, hype it up. Hype it up. See you guys down in the comment section. I'm gonna be down there with y'all talking my shit.
You the dumbest broad of the year. You the messiest bitch of the year. I'm gonna start giving out motherfucking awards my damn self and mailing them to you bitches. I'm gonna make a fucking award that say "Own Papoose Dick Award" and send it to the bitch who be on his dick the most. I got something for y'all. I got something for y'all. I got something for y'all. And unlike some of y'all be saying y'all be on the internet and y'all get paid to troll people. Y'all get paid to talk about people. No, you don't. You don't get paid off engagement with your profile being private and nobody can DM you and nobody can even comment. All they can do is like. You're not getting paid. Stop lying. You got 900 subscribers on YouTube. You're not getting paid. Stop lying. Stop lying. Just be honest. I love an honest person. You get on Facebook and troll people because you are sad. You are sad like Dolores. You are sad. You want everybody to think that you're happy. You want to be the class clown, right? And that's what you want to do. Just admit it and say you miserable. Or hold on. Admit it and say that you're a jealous person. You're jealous. You're jealous of Claressa Shields. Just say that. You're jealous. You wonder why it's not you. Well, how come it's not me that got the house? Why is not me with Papoose? Why is not me? I don't know why it's not you. Maybe because you don't work out. Maybe because you don't drink water. Yeah, maybe that's why. Maybe that's why. My God. This ain't no damn crashing out. What do y'all consider crashing out? Like, going to jail? Going to jail? Fighting on the internet? What exactly is crashing out? If this is crashing out, shit. What I could really do, I just think I should just get off the internet then. Anybody crashing out, I'm checking them. Let them know. Don't come mess with me. I won't mess with you. They're going to take these videos and put them everywhere. But y'all swear I'm not a celebrity. Everything I do go viral. Stanisha Green Harris. Trust nobody. I think you tried to say dumb. Nobody. First of all, let's talk. Hold on. Stanisha. Is your dad named Stan? Because my daddy named Clarence, and he named me Claressa. Did your mama let your daddy name you Stanisha? Is this even a woman, Stanisha? Is you a woman? I don't know. Stanisha Green, trust, nobody wants Papoose, babe. You want him. I can't believe you just said that. You want him. If you go down, I hate when, like I told y'all earlier, when somebody say, speak up in general, it makes me mad. It makes me so mad. Because how do you know who want Papoose? Do you go to his page and see all the women that be commenting on his stuff? Come on, man. Come on. Come on. Come on. Capricia, you too rich girl, why you doing this? I'm doing this because I'm rich and I do what the fuck I want to do.